Hey everyone, this is Eric Sloov at the VMworld 2018. I'm joined by TJ and Hilco. Hey guys, how are you doing?
Doing really great, Eric. Glad to be here.
Great.
Doing fine, you?
I'm fine, thanks. So these guys are presenting a session on hosting Horizon View on top of AWS and giving customers the opportunity to burst outside their own premises and host those services on AWS. But that's not the complete story because there is a vSphere layer between AWS and Horizon, isn't there?
Absolutely, Eric. So just to mention that we are presenting a three-part series on Horizon 7 on VMC powered by AWS. The first session in the series was a plan session wherein we want customers to kind of plan their deployment. Session number 2 is designing, what should the customers need to design, and session number 3 is about deployment. So plan, design, deploy is the three-part series that we have 0 to 60 for our customers to deploy Horizon 7 on VMC powered by AWS. And as you mentioned, we've really taken the complexity out of the decision-making process for our customers in the sense that VMC is that secret source or that layer of abstraction that we deploy on top of AWS, because VMware R&D team have already done the compatibility testing of different core foundation components, which is vSphere, NSX, and vSAN. So we've already done the integration compatibility testing of different versions, which forms that secret sauce of VMC, and which as a foundation component we can leverage to deploy Horizon 7, which is the same on-prem code-based design that our customers are deploying today, and customers can use the same design and burst it to the cloud with VMC on AWS.
Okay, that sounds great. So Hilco, when people are using the combination of NSX and vSAN on top of vSphere, how is the scalability? I can imagine if you're introducing a new host in the cluster, you have more CPU and memory, you have more network bandwidth, but vSAN also introduces more IOPS and capacity. Is that the whole trick regarding scalability into the cloud?
Well, that's part of the trick. The other massive part that's in there is the speed in which we are capable of actually extending. Just imagine that you would have something like this on-prem, then it would be really hard to actually get a host in. You would have to maybe even tender it, or you have to order it, you have to install it. And in here, within probably 5 to 10 minutes, you have a host added in there, and you can use it immediately. And that's the real power of VMC.
Okay, and regarding locality, TJ, when people log on and go to the broker, they can go from different locations, and AWS is running in the cloud. How do you get people at the right broker?
So that's the beauty of Horizon 7 on VMC, right? So that's all abstracted from the users. So essentially we are creating a cloud pod architecture, which was a feature that was released with the Horizon 6.x, I believe it was 6.5. And essentially when we are creating that cloud pod architecture, now with Horizon 7 on VMC, it's truly a cloud pod architecture because we are able to federate cloud pods between a on-prem deployment and cloud deployment. So it is indeed a hybrid cloud pod federation, wherein customers or users of the infrastructure are given entitlements, and based on the entitlement, they'll have no visibility whether the desktop is being provisioned to them from an on-prem resource or a resource running on VMC on AWS. And the beauty is that we have the logic of the interpod federation happening between connection servers, because now we are stretching the cloud pod between on-prem to the cloud, and it is totally abstracted from the customer's usage perspective. So it is all insulated from the user's perspective.
Okay, that sounds great. So if we look at the design, a lot of techniques that are used in private deployments in the private cloud are, for instance, instant clones. Is that something that's also supported when I'm running it on vSphere on Amazon?
Yes, so we just made the announcement. We had it like a preview for the past months, and it's GA today.
So it's GA today. Instant clones are supported on Amazon?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So any last words? Why should people choose this solution instead of building their own private environment?
So I think what we've seen from our customers back in the US and around the globe is the kind of use cases customers have. So customers have use cases that are seasonal bursts. So case in point, companies that are dealing with business process outsourcing, they have seasonal requirements. So now that the holiday season is going to start, many of these BPO companies will have actual vendors like Ford Motor Company, retail stores coming back to them to kind of support their call centers. And for BPO companies, it's very difficult to invest in brick and mortar at such a short notice, which is like a couple of months away, right? So bursting to the cloud for these seasonal workloads is a phenomenal use case. Other opportunities that we've seen is customers in the healthcare industry that need a disaster recovery site, financial customers that they want a disaster recovery site, and based on the interim analysis that we've done, if customers try to set up their BCDR site on a cloud, it is to the magnitude of 30 to 40% cheaper than investing in a BCDR site that is brick and mortar. So that's a phenomenal saving for our customers in terms of operational expenses saving and capital expenses saving. And also from the perspective of elasticity, as I said, and M&A. Mergers and acquisitions is a huge opportunity that we're seeing with the customers, that when a company is acquiring another company and they want to include them within their ecosystem and they don't have enough horsepower within their data centers, this will be a phenomenal opportunity for those customers to kind of include the companies that they're acquiring as part of their ecosystem by bursting to Horizon 7 on VMC powered by AWS.
Okay, great. So one last technical question. When people are using this solution, is there any network connectivity needed between the private and the public cloud? Do they need a lot of bandwidth because people are roaming between desktops that are hosted in the public cloud and go to the private cloud? How does that work?
So normally they would have like a home site defined. So somebody could have a home site on-premise, or somebody could have a home site on VMC. And most of the people will try to work from home. So then it's going directly into. Now, if you have like an Active Directory on-prem and you want to have the same resources, then you do have kind of a replication going on, and that will cost you a bit of bandwidth, but it's not that much. It's only a very slight amount of bandwidth.
Okay, great. So, many thanks for the interview, guys. I heard that your session was very well received in the US, in Vegas, and I hope that Europe is as enthusiastic too.
Looking forward to it, Eric.
Okay,
Thank you.
Great, thanks.
Thanks for your time.